Listen, this video is going to be a little bit different. I just came back from an international trip and I met a very knowledgeable man that we had a great conversation, and essentially we were talking about all of the crazy things that's going on across the world, but specifically human trafficking, and even more importantly, to my surprise, a lot of the women, regardless of age, that are coming up missing internationally. And he shared some things internationally with me that I just was not aware of, and it caused me to think, I want to get a video out as quick as possible just to bring some awareness around it. Not that I'm going to give you every single solution, but in this video, I want to talk about dating safety tips for women, because this gentleman that I was speaking to really opened my eyes up. And I will say this, regardless if it's true or not, one thing that he just caused me to think about was the number of transgender people that are growing all across the world. He made the correlation with the more women that are coming up missing, because people that are men that want to be a woman, they need these body parts. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it just caused me to think and bring awareness to just all of the women, regardless of age, that have been coming up missing internationally. But we know, if you live in the United States, that this has been something that has, in the last recent years, have been, just off the charts, especially as it relates to younger women. And so I want to just share some different tips on how to stay safe, because I can tell you from personal experience, when you want to be in a relationship, sometimes emotionally you can cause your defenses to go down because your desire is so high that your level of safety is in jeopardy, because you desire something to be how you want it to be and you don't see it for what it is. And so therefore it kind of puts you at risk of being in danger. And I've done that to myself before. So I want to share these tips. And again, some of them are obvious, but some of them are not so obvious. And when I'm done, I would love for you to share different tips that maybe I did not cover, where other people can actually learn from you. But the number one tip, and again, this is no specific order, but the number one tip that I really encourage women that are dating somebody that they really don't know to do is never, ever give out your home address. Now, I know that might be obvious to some, but not so obvious to others, but never give out your home address. And if you can, avoid putting your home address on things that can easily be found online, because I know a lot of women do a lot of research, but unfortunately a lot of men do a lot of research as well, but they're not researching for the greater good. They're researching because they're trying to harm, manipulate, or do something even more devastating to women. So if you can, always avoid providing your home address. And sometimes women provide their home address because they want the guy to pick them up, because in their mind they want to see what he drives, because that within itself could communicate a lot more things about that guy that maybe they don't know. But what women don't realize, who think from that perspective, is that what you will determine or learn about him from that is far less than what you won't determine about him if you do put yourself at risk of not seeing all of the other possibilities from providing your home address. So if at all possible, you want to avoid providing your home address. And I will say this, when it comes to dating somebody that you don't know, you want to always drive. You never want to allow somebody else that you don't know and don't trust to have that kind of control and put you in a situation where you're just vulnerable. So you want to drive. And again, I want to be clear, I'm not communicating this to you in video to cause you to be paranoid or to cause you to just be like, I'm not dating. No, it's not like that at all. It's just to bring awareness to all of the different things that are happening all across the world as it relates to women that are coming up missing, whether it's human trafficking or body part, whatever the case may be. It doesn't really matter, but I just want to bring awareness to it. The other thing that I want to point out for some that, might be obvious to some, but not so obvious to others, is to always meet in a public place. When you first meet a guy, you don't really know him. You do not want to go to his house. Red flag. You don't want to go over his friend's house. You don't want to go over his family, because you don't know what's been predetermined or planned that you might not be aware of that can involve you being in harm or danger. And I know this might be controversial as well, but when you go meet a guy and you guys go eat or whatever the case, you pick the place. On the first initial dates, you pick the place, because what it does is it puts you in control of understanding and knowing what's going on in that environment more than likely before you get there. Because there are some situations that are recently happening where a guy, he charms a woman, and he picks these specific spots where they can meet, where things have already been pre-planned and predetermined, and people are in on her danger that she's not even aware of, and she's thinking he just picked a random place. So you want to pick the place, you want to drive, and you want to always make sure that you meet in a public place and never give out your address. But the other thing too is when you do go to any environment and you're meeting somebody that you really don't know, and even if you do know them, because sometimes it's not even about them, it's about other people as well, but you just want to bring awareness to everything, is you want to avoid parking next to vans or trucks if at all possible. Because there was something even recently where it was on a Walmart surveillance camera where a young lady in her early 20s was actually kidnapped by two gentlemen that had a van that was parked next to her car. She got out, they got out, and threw in a van really fast. Now, fortunately for her, somebody seen it. This happened in Dallas, Texas. Somebody seen it, and the police ended up catching the guys before they got to the freeway. But what if somebody didn't see it? That was somebody that could have been gone, all because they parked next to a van or a truck because they did not have that awareness. And again, it's not to say that it won't happen if you park somewhere else, but you're just reducing the potential risk of something happening to you. And I will say this: if you get to your car and you find some kind of coin or something like lodged in your door handle, get away from your car as quick as possible and call for help, because this is another strategy that people are doing, is that they're putting a coin in the door handle of cars, and what it is it's causing women to not be aware of their surroundings because they're so focused on the door handle that they don't even see somebody actually has a trap set up around them. And so people are putting these coins and they're sticking it in the door handles, and it's causing women to not even see that somebody is about to attack her. And that has been going on like just crazy lately. And again, it's so many different strategies and tactics that's like that they're doing. And one also is, if you get in your car and you notice that there's some kind of like paper on your back window which blurs your vision, do not get out and get that paper. Make sure you drive somewhere. Again, if you just can't see, drive somewhere where you know you're safe and nobody's potentially around that can harm you, and then you get it off. Because what happens is this: people are putting, and this has been going on for years, people are putting like a piece of paper on the back window, and when you get out to get that paper, either one of two things happen. Either when you get out, more than likely your keys are in your car, somebody runs, jumps in your car, they're gone, they steal your car. Or number two, which is I think is even worse, is you get out of your car and your keys are in your car, and the person ends up attacking that person and kidnaps them in their own car. And so you want to just be aware of your surroundings, and again, you want to avoid parking next to trucks, not giving out your home address. And I'll tell you this, especially with the everything being online, sometimes people are not even trying to attack you physically. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get your information, because it's all about money. Like even the human trafficking and what's going on in like London and Europe and these other places, it's all coming down to money. And you want to just put yourself in a position where you are just being safe as possible. And again, what I've covered is a very small fraction of all of the different things that you can do. But what I would love for you to do is comment below with maybe something that you have heard of that maybe I did not mention, where other people can actually learn from you, because this video is all about awareness and helping people in general, but specifically women, stay safe when it comes to dating and relationships. So I would love for you to comment below with maybe something that I did not cover, and share some kind of strategy or tactic or something that you do or somebody else has taught you or you heard about that somebody else can actually read and benefit from, because again, it's all about safety. Okay, last thing, promise. Just as I was wrapping up, I thought about a story that I heard years ago, and I won't even go into the story, but one thing that I do want to caution you to do is make sure that you lock your door whenever you get out of your car, especially when you're going to meet somebody that you don't really know for the first time. And the reason being is because there are, I'm gonna just say, scams right now that are going on where a guy is getting a woman to meet him at a certain place, but then he has somebody else that understands the entire situation set up, and the other person is actually either breaks in the woman's car or just gets in her car. She doesn't know it, and when she returns, he's in the back seat waiting for her. So you want to always lock your door when you get out. And I would say this, even if you lock your door, make sure you look in your back seat before you get back in your car to ensure that there's nobody in your car outside of you. So again, lock your door, but even if you do lock your door, understand that somebody can still get in your car, but you want to make sure that when you go back to your car, you check the back seat to make sure that nobody else is there. I want to say this before I close this video. This is in no way, shape, or form trying to discourage you from dating or being in a relationship, period. It's only to bring awareness to your safety when you're in situations where you don't really know somebody, you're just getting to know somebody, or you're in an environment that's unknown and you can have potential danger around you that you're not even aware of. But please comment below and let me know, number one, what you think about this video, but also just different strategies that other women can actually learn from you and use from reading your comments below.